point, I'm looking at a trend, a beautiful trend. That's what I'm looking at. So for any reason, we're back into the 50 exponential moving average. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. Well, this is your boy Francis. Welcome to the Trading Success Show. If this is your first time, you're welcome to this channel. Remember to click that like button, subscribe. Right now we're going to be talking about stocks and ETFs. The reason why I'm coming up with this is because, you know, preparing for that retirement, preparing for that time where you will be having stocks or ETFs pretty much guess what, paying you dividend every single month or yearly dividend. It's all up to you. You can reinvest this dividend back into the stock as well. You don't even have to do anything like Schwab. You just have to click dividend reinvestment, so it will exponentially grow. Anyways, remember that this is not a recommendation to buy any stock or equity. This is for entertainment purposes only. Now, we're going to be talking about the stocks, but before then, we're going to be talking about how the market performed on Friday, followed by how the market performed over the week. Okay, so this pretty much looking at it is how our market performed on Friday close. Okay, medical services, we got mostly green there, followed by what? Railroads, right? So beverages kind of okay, tobacco kind of close green. For now, looking at the weekly chart, we know that the price really did fantastic, okay, in terms of energy, in terms of restaurants and footwear and all those good stuff, as well as our beverages. Okay, so now overall technology is down, consumer cyclical is down, financial is also down, industrial is down, healthcare is also down based on the week. Okay, so next week we're gonna really talk about how the PCE is gonna come into play. Now let's go take a look at it real quick, which is our economic reports and Fed speakers. Last week we had Jay Powell and as well as Fed governors. Okay, so looking at it at this point in time, we have on Tuesday, we have the manufacturing PMI followed by what? Jobless claim and durable goods. So it's going to be really an interesting week. But overall, we have the core PCE index. Okay, so we got the core PCE index, which will know year over year what is going on pretty much, okay, in the consumer sector. Okay, so followed by a consumer sentiment as well. And then the following of the followings, we got what? We got the Fed's decision. Okay, after that, we now have Jay Powell conference. So it's gonna be really an interesting weekend the following to come. Anyways, let's get into it. I think I've said this is not a recommendation to buy or to sell any equity. Now, according to CNBC, it says Dow closes nearly 300 points lower after 10-year Treasury yield tops 5% for the first time since 2007. Okay, which you know is very interesting. Overall, we're looking at the market, CNBC saying how banks are also weak and blah 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 blah. And looking at the background, you now see that mostly all stocks, equities, pretty much on the red side. Now let's talk about the stock. Okay, we'll talk about stocks, but let's talk about S&P 500 ETF. This is pretty much our basket for the market. Now, looking at this right now, what do we see? We saw and we believe and we're seeing right now that the market is approaching the 200 moving average. That is where the market is headed if there is, okay? But for now, we need to reclaim the 425 spot. If we can reclaim the 425 spot, guess what? The market will rally back up to the upside. Okay? But for now, I'm anticipating that the area we're going to is 419, 420 on SPY. So keep an eye out, and then we can bounce off from that area. If for any reason that 420 doesn't hold, then we can get into 418 or so for the quick bounce off that level. Last week I talked about it, and I did talk about price continuation into this trend. But if for any reason 430 doesn't hold and we reject 435, we're going to be heading lower, and we fail 430 and back right into 425. 425 couldn't hold on Friday, and then we're back into the 421 420 area, so back into support. So in this coming week I'll be expecting some form of a bounce in the coming week, as we expect J Powell as well. Our first stock is going to be MO. On MO here, we're actually looking at price getting back into the 200 SMA. Okay, if price can hold this 20 and 50 exponential moving average area, which is a very solid spot at 42.50, then we can bounce right into 43.32 again. So right now, keep an eye out on MO. It's a high dividend paying stocks as well, so keep a very good eye on that. JEPQ, right now we're looking at price around the 46. If for any reason we continue to pull lower as the market sell off, guess where we're going? We're going to $46. Okay, we can bounce off that area to continue the movement to the upside. STWD, this one right now, volume is about 2.5 million shares traded hands, and guess what? The lows of the days was 18.02. okay, and the high was 18.46. So pretty much we're looking at that $18 as our support for now, so keep an eye out. I think we can bounce and reclaim the 200 moving average, then we're gonna be all right. BLE, BLE at this point, we've been selling off on this name and we haven't really looked back, okay? However, volume is not really thin on this one, and it's a very small price stock, so I'm not too worried about that. O is another name. Oh, we've been selling off from the what, $63.50 area back into $49 or $50 spot. Guess what? I'll be expecting some form of a bounce off this area. We did try to retest this trend only to fail that trend back into this area. So keep an eye out for the coming week on this and months, because guess what? This is our high dividend paying stock. So we're gonna be holding this for a long time, not just for a short term. Also looking at ARR as well. This is residential REIT. Right now we've sold right off into a level of support. $15 is going to act as a support in the coming days, so keep an eye out. I think this has been selling off really. DIVO as well, look for $34, okay, as our support. Why? Because every time we get to that spot we tend to bounce right off. If for any reason price continue to pull lower, then I'll be expecting that zone. Also Microsoft. Why Microsoft? Microsoft right now we're hanging right on the 20 and 50 exponential moving average, far off from the 200 SMA, but for now 325 is going to be our support on this name. Amazon as well. Now you're going to be looking at, guys, what is going on with Amazon? Nothing is going on than technicals, than the market pulling lower. However, we still got volume on this name. For 125, that is our support on this. If price really hold this spot, then we can bounce right off into 130 or 129-ish area. I don't think this can really get back into the 117, 116 on Monday, but just keep an eye out on Amazon. Also looking at Meta, these are solid name for holding, like for a long-term hold, so keep an eye out on Meta as well. Abivai also is another name, paying name, dividend paying name. Right now we're looking at price at the 200 moving average. Technically, the 200 moving average is that area where the big boys try to pick up stocks, but right now we're looking at the market, looking at how reactions are taking place in the market, and who is buying stocks, right? Look at how Abiva is really holding, and buying volume is coming in just to bounce right off that 200 moving average spot, right? Also, taking a look at SCHD, this is Schwab dividend equity ETF. Right now we're looking at price back into the $69 zone. Why? Because guess what, the last time we got to that spot, we just bounced right off. So we're back to that spot again. Remember, it's a dividends playing name, so I'll be looking to pick up some right around here for that continuation to the upside as the market continue to bounce off of, you know, that oversold zone, because we are oversold in the market. So I'll be expecting a continuation back to the upside in no time. EPR as well. Right now we're looking at a trend. Okay, so this channel right now, that is what I'm looking at. Okay, and if price can pull lower to this area, then we're gonna be all right, we're gonna be good. But for now, expect price to hold the 200 moving average, which is an interesting area for the big boys to really pick some up as well. CCI, we're looking at trend right now. That is what we're looking at. We're looking at price action right around this trend, so keep an eye out for the bounce around the $86-85 on the name. SBRA, this traded about 2.8 million shares. Okay, so at this point I'm looking at a trend, a beautiful trend. That's what I'm looking at. So for any reason we're back into the 50 exponential moving average, I will be picking some up in this case. But right now we're fighting the 20 exponential moving average. If that area breaks, then we're going to be looking at $13.50 in the coming days. I am MPW, this is a very small price name as well, but keep an eye out for the $4.50, and then we can bounce off that area. If for any reason sell pressure continues, this is going to $3 spot, so keep an eye out on this name. RWA, right now, you know what you'll be looking for, this spot, which is $11.75, $11.74. Reason is because that is our 200 moving average. I'll be expecting this price area to hold as a form of support. Also, OBDC, this is Blue Owl Capital Corporation. Right now, this is your trend. This is the area to watch for your long-term hold. Okay, long-term hold, long-term pick, or what have you. So price around this area is our support, so keep an eye out. For any reason we fail, then we'll be back into the $13 or even $12.64, because why? That is where we have the 200 moving average. Okay, in phase, okay, ENPH, we created a gap here as of Friday, and more sell volume came in, right? So right now I'll be looking at price back into the $95 area if we cannot reclaim $100 on ENPH. XPEL as well, also another sell-off. I'll be looking at $50 as our support. We did sell off right into $47.50, but right now $50 is going to act as our support for now on that name. IEP, we're looking at price to bounce off this area. We still haven't filled up this gap yet, so I'll be looking at momentum push off of this area, and then we can continue to the upside on that name. BRO as well. Right now we're back into support. 67 is the support. If for any reason sell pressure still continue, we'll be looking at 66 or even 65 on that name. CCAP, $16 is our support on that name. ALX, we're looking at 175. Not much of a volume, so just, you know, scratch that off your books as well. TSLA, TSLA, this is Tesla, and guess what? I talked about it and I said, you know, for any reason something bad happened, we'll be looking at 200 moving average, and we got to that spot. That is where we are right now. $210. That is our support for now. Keep an eye out as we may bounce off this area as buy volume continue to come in. See how price been holding this area. This is the third time, so keep an eye out on this name, Tesla, so if we can continue the movement to the upside. Also, we got another sell-off on ULTA. Okay, for now we're looking at price reclaiming the 200 moving average. Guys, you know, I have so many charts out here, but the remaining one I'm gonna analyze them on my X account, which is the Twitter account, and as well as Shortsqueeze account. If you have any questions or concern, you can email me at tradingshow@gmail.com. Peace and love, guys. Bye bye.